things investing in your kids' ears and nesting. Now this looks like the job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like the job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me.
Howdy!
Howdy!
Welcome to the Hat. I'm Bellboy, and look who's back. It's Jack Spider.
The pleasure and the privilege is mine.
Well, this one, we said it was coming soon, and we're here. It's WrestleMania. It's pretty much on the doorstep now, and it's WrestleMania 30, so it's a massive event for WWE. So we've got a massive program, massive episode for Under the Hat. We're going to be not only joined by Jack Spider here in the studio, but we've got Sydney from Sydney, and for the first time in over 2 years,
it's been a while.
Yeah, Michelle J. Fox, also a very good friend of Sydney's, and sometimes even maybe more than a friend.
Well, I think it's the first time since we've been able to afford to have her on the show.
Yes, she's all the way from LA, and she's going to be via satellite also. So, yeah, we'll take it over to Sydney and Michelle, who are going to start the ball rolling with the predictions.
Hi guys, hi Bellboy and all the Under the Hat fans. It's me, Sydney here, as you all know.
And it's me, Michelle J. Fox, live from LA.
Hope you guys are good and looking forward to Mania 30. We're going to be seeing you in no time at all. But let's get down to the nookie crookie. What we're here to do today is talk about our predictions for WrestleMania 30, our annual prediction show. So, first off, we're going to go from the lowest matches in the card and go higher. So we got the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. The Usos, who are the champions, versus Ryback, Los Matadores, and the Real Americans. For me, I'm picturing the Usos as they've been newly crowned champions and pretty good young tag team. I think they're going to retain in the Fatal 4-Way, and I think the Real Americans, as they've been splitting up or showing signs of splitting up, Jack Swagger is a bit jealous of Antonio Cesaro. I think he's going to get a major push next year, so I can see the Real Americans losing, but then maybe splitting up on Mania Day too. So I'm going for the Usos win here. What about you, Michelle?
I gotta agree with you, Sydney. I think I'm pretty happy with the Usos getting the recognition they deserve. They're a strong tag team, and they've been quite quiet up until the point where they won the tag team championship. I think they will retain, and I think it's well deserved too.
Right, yeah, well, both of they raised some valid points there.
Yeah, but seem to be leaning towards the Usos.
Yeah. I would have to agree myself. I think it's they gave the title to the Usos, I think, because they wanted them to go into Mania as champions. But I can't see them dropping them so soon, because they are kind of on a roll. So I'm gonna go with the Usos myself. I think they probably will.
I'm personally going to disagree. I reckon the Real Americans, it looked like they teased the split, and then suddenly they stopped arguing, and everybody knows how popular Cesaro is, and I'm thinking that they're going to take the belts. Yeah,
it's a possibility. I think the split could happen, but I think it is just a one fall match, that, or is it elimination?
You know what? I'm not 100% sure on that one.
No. Because if it's elimination, that could throw a spanner in the works, but nevertheless, I'm still sticking with the Usos. Right. What do you guys say for the next one?
Okay, and the next one is the Divas Invitational Challenge. You quite like the Divas matches, don't you, Michelle J. Fox?
Oh, I do. It was pretty quiet leading up to Mania. The road to WrestleMania for the Divas was pretty quiet up until last Raw. So I'm glad they finally got something sorted. And this match is looking pretty good. Pretty good to me. I'm thinking Tamina Snuka might have a good chance of winning the title, and I like this bit of a feud going on between her and AJ. I think that's a pretty good call. What do you think, Sydney?
I think so. I mean, they're allies at the moment. She's her bodyguard, but I can see that she wants the title more than she wants to be AJ's bodyguard. So I can see AJ is definitely going to lose the title, I would say, and I think Tamina's going to win, beat her for it. Not necessarily pin AJ, but maybe she will, and it would start the feud with a bit more momentum.
Right, yeah, and another one I have to tend to agree with. The way they bigged up that Tamina was in the was the last person announced for the match.
Yeah.
It made it seem that she's going to have a massive involvement with it, or it's going to be some sort of twist in it that, I can't see AJ. She's had it, as much as I would like her to win, she's had it for, I don't know, she's getting on for a sort of like CM Punk reign.
She's had the longest reign, so there's no need for her to have it anymore.
No, and it's got stale now with her having the championship, so I think I don't think she's going to lose the match though. I don't think she's going to be the one to get pinned.
I disagree. I think Tamina's going to pin her. I think with Tamina, she's never had the belt before, and I'm thinking they might just want to give it to her. You kind of get the feeling, but if they wanted to give it to someone else, they would have just pushed them a bit more. But as I always get the Funkadactyls mixed up, but I think it's Naomi, the one who's recently had the eye patch.
Yes.
I think she was supposed to take the title at some point, but then she got injured.
Injured.
There's the possibility that it might be the other option there.
Yeah.
Or maybe one of the Bellas, but I think we'll stick with Tamina too, I think.
Yeah, you think Tamina as well. Right. Okay, on to the next one.
The next one is The Shield versus the New Age Outlaws and Kane, or should we call them the Old Age Outlaws?
Ooh, I think we should.
But The Shield, an up-and-coming new group, they've pretty much carried the WWE for the last year. One of the teams, the new blood that is I think they're definitely going to beat the old guys at Mania, because The Shield, they need to start coming through as singles competitors soon. So as the Shield are going in face, I think they're going to look very strong. But you never know, they might actually split up at Mania, because they did show signs of that. But I think there's a bit too many breakups at Wrestlemania 30. So I think the Shield will stay face, and they'll still show that they're the most dominant force in the WWE.
I'm thinking there should be a bit more conflict between the Shield. I think a breakup would be good fun. And also I'm hoping that Dean Ambrose cuts that crappy hair.
You're not a fan of his hair then, Michelle?
No, I'm not. I think he looks like a goddamn wet dog.
Maybe we'll see. I think Roman Reigns will have a good Mania though. They're really trying to push him at the moment. A few Superman punches and spears I could see.
Yeah. To be fair, I think I like the fact that the Shield's turned face. I think any really, really established and in general like faction that go down in history, they'll it's always good for them to have a face run as well. And I think even though I do think they will split up very soon, I don't reckon I don't think they'll split up at Mania. So I reckon they'll have a strong performance against Kane and the New Age Outlaws, and I definitely expect them to win it.
Yeah, I just can't see the Shield losing. I mean, the splits. I mean, the thing is, the three of them are just so good together. On the one hand, you do want to see them split, to see what they can do individually, and then on the other hand, you kind of don't, because they're so great together. I would love it if they could start feuding with the Wyatts again, but I don't think we're gonna get that. But yeah, they're too strong for Kane and the Old Age Outlaws. So
yeah, no, I agree totally. Right, okay, Sid and Michelle, the next one's to you.
Next we got Hulk Hogan's idea of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, 30-man over-the-top Battle Royal. It's going to have all the guys that couldn't make the proper card, shall we say, thrown into a Battle Royal. Makes up for the horrid Rumble they had, really. So I think it's a good idea, and we could see some legends in there. I would quite like to see maybe Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, and Jake the Snake in there. I've heard Arnie might be in there and his mate, so it could be quite a good show. I'm going to go for Alexander Yusuf or Rusev, the Russian Ivan Drago wannabe. I think if he's in there, I think he'll win, because they're going to try and give him a big push. If not, I'm going to go for just a hunch that Big E Langston will probably win it, the Intercontinental Champion, but I think he'll probably get it. So, and maybe Dolph Ziggler. I would like to see him win the trophy, the Andre Giant Trophy. But if I had to pick one, I'm going to go for Alexander Yusuf.
I think I'm going to go as a bit of an outside bet, but I'm going to go for another Giant and think Big Show is going to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yes, well, this one I really do hope. I presume one of these are going to have to be on the pre-show, which is unfortunate because it's a good card, and it's almost like you don't really want any to be on the pre-show. But normally I'd say, yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, this is going on the pre-show. But as it's the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, do they really put it on the pre-show? I'm kind of thinking that they shouldn't really do that because it's kind of devaluing it.
I think, it's not determined yet what's going to be on the pre-show, but I think this one it can't be. It should be on the main one. They made a big deal of it, so
yeah.
And you can have kind of Hogan come out and host it. So
I think maybe it should kick off the actual show.
Possibly so. Although I think maybe we might get
Brian
and Triple H, a match we haven't discussed yet, open. I think maybe we all seem to be going for different people. But I personally would say I think the favourite is Sheamus.
Yeah, this is probably the hardest one to call, to be fair. Obviously, because it's got the most people in it. But I think, you're probably. I would say it's a toss-up for me between Big Show and Sheamus, but I'm gonna say, I think Sheamus because I think he's got a year ahead of him that I think I could see a heel turn involved, and I think he's got a bigger year than Big Show, and I think I'm going to go with Sheamus myself.
Well, apparently there's this guy, I haven't really heard much about him, but there's a guy called Zack Ryder, and he's won a few over-the-top battle royals.
Well, you kind of remind me of him in a way.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why that was.
I don't see the resemblance.
No. Maybe it's just the light.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, guys, over to you for the next one.
It's John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Good to see John Cena not in the main event, and I've really enjoyed the feud. I think Bray Wyatt's been brilliant with his promo skills, and I could really see him being a threat to John Cena and beating him, especially if he has his two goons, Rowan and Harper, looking after him. I could see Bray Wyatt picking up a big shock win over John Cena.
Wow, I think that's a good call. I think the build-up before this match has been really interesting, and it's nice to not have John Cena shoved down your throat so much in this WrestleMania. I think it's going to win him a bit more crowd support, and I think Bray Wyatt might just do it.
You're coming from Hollywood yourself. You're quite good friends with John Cena, aren't you?
He's a good guy. I feel for him when he gets the booze, but he's a good, genuine guy, and I don't think he's gonna win this one, but it may be in his favour in the long run.
I think I don't know. I think it is a little bit of a shame that for Mania 30 he is their biggest guy and he's not in the main event. I think the time to have taken him out of that main event would have been maybe at a 27, a 28, a 29, but not your 30. I think that's your marquee match, your marquee Mania. I think they should have worked it somehow that he would have been in the main event. And it's really, considering how many times he has been, it's nice to see other people get a chance. But because he's not in a top match, I can't imagine him not being in a top match and then not winning. I think he's got to, if he's not going to be in a top match, then he's got to win. That's personally what I think.
Yeah, I have to agree. Actually, I think he's probably going to do it. Bray Wyatt's going to put on a really good performance, I think, but I think Cena will win it. But it won't be the end of the feud by any means. I think it's going to be a start of a feud between these two, and I could bet you bottom dollar they're going to be fighting at Extreme Rules and maybe Payback as well. It's going to go on for a few months. I could see this one going, but I think as it's WrestleMania, I can't see their number one face of the company over for the last 10 years dropping out, even if it's not clean. Right, now it's getting interesting. Over to you guys.